Hello, friends. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone for being willing to listen and to consider this work. Today's offering can aid us in the art of personal and social development, which we can say is the most important art form, really. You're going to need to have a pencil, pen, colored pencils, pastels, or crayons, something of your choice, later on for some short artistic experiences. Our lives are works in progress, changing and transforming through time, unless we rigidly identify with certain perceptions, feelings, and habits. But even the most obstinate rigidity will change over time. When we think and speak of biography, we're really speaking of destiny. Biographia, life writing our lives. This is what we do. We do this when we think, feel, and do in our lives, and this becomes inscribed in us, thus becoming what we design for what comes next in our lives, our destiny. We all have questions which stay with us and may perhaps keep us up at night. And these questions affect important decisions we have to make. Do you want to take a new direction in life? Are you in the middle of a crisis and wonder how and why you got into the dark spot you're in? Do you simply want to understand others or to be understood? These kinds of questions are starting points for embarking upon biographical work. When we question the meaning of life or feel stuck in a midlife crisis or a crisis at any other time in life, whether we feel trapped by parenting, by a job, a relationship, or a substance, or even a device, biography work will give new perspectives, energy, and enthusiasm when we realize that not only do we have all that is necessary to direct our lives, but that each of us, from the beginning, is the author who has written the plot of our life story. This is key to understanding our life's purpose and intention. Inscribed above the entrance of the temple of the ancient Greek Delphic mysteries was the admonition, "Know thyself." From the same stream, Plato said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Biography means life writing in which we are always engaged in just through simply living, right? And for those of us who recognize the truth in Plato's statement, we feel impelled to be aware of what we are writing. But in daily life, are we always aware of what is being written into our being? Since COVID quarantine, the lockdowns, their aftermath, and the ensuing social questions and other phenomena brought and is bringing different things to different people. And for some, feeling inconvenienced, trapped, fearful, and worried, developed intensified habits of binge watching movies and TV series, making inane videos, which we probably have all seen, numbing out in various ways, or filling the calendar with activities just to fill time. Others took the time to relax, to rethink what is most important and meaningful in their lives, and became creative in some way. All in all, it created space for more questioning. The events of our catalytic modern age give rise to all sorts of questions about personal, social, and political life. For many individuals, such questions do not need to be spurred by such a trying time, but here we are. And whoever we are and however we live our lives, change will come about. We know this is true. More and more, people are finding the need to muster courage to be able to stand in the face of ever-mounting challenges. Now, the fundamental characteristics of being human is found in our thinking, willing, or doing, and feeling. If we think about it, thinking can determine feeling and the willing. Feeling can determine thinking and willing, and even willing or doing can sometimes determine feeling and willing in some people. Now, even more fundamental in our inner life is sympathy and antipathy, what we like and what we don't like. But in between, we can practice discernment. And here, we learn to know ourselves, know thyself, okay? And to the degree we do that, we have peace and courage in our lives because we have meaningful connection. And we want to put that into action and it takes courage. The word courage is from the French word coeur, which is from the Latin cor, meaning heart, corazon in Espanol, yeah? And one center. To understand courage anthroposophically, we must consider the threefold nature of the human being, which is in the thinking, found in the physically in the nerve sense system. And courage clarifies thought by preventing paralysis by fear, right? Found in feeling, the rhythmic system in the body. Courage harmonizes emotion, transforming anxiety into resolve. And in our willing, the metabolic limb system, courage activates the will, enabling moral action. To the degree that we don't do this, eventually, we'll find problems in those physical parts of the body. Now, courage is the bridge between feeling and willing. And it's the moment in the soul that chooses to act when the outcome is uncertain. Rudolf Steiner teaches the I, okay, or ego, organization, is a spiritual core of the human being. And courage arises when the I penetrates the astral body, the feeling body, transforming instinctual fear into conscious strength. The I must illuminate the shadow, not banish it, but stand within it. Courage is the Michaelic force that allows the soul to confront challenges with discernment and love. The human being must become a warrior of the spirit, not through domination, but through uprightness. What is called embodied cosmic courage is the strength to stand in truth, to wield the sword of discernment and to face spiritual darkness without flinching, yeah? And this cosmic or Michaelic courage is moral clarity, the ability to see through illusion, and the spiritual resolve to act from conscience and inner uprightness to stand firm in love. This is not the courage of conquest, it is the courage of redemption, and we are called to stand in this more and more in our times. Now, Steiner's 12-fold virtue path includes courage as a transformative force. Though not named directly in the monthly cycle, which I will get into at another time, it's implicit in virtues like devotion as it leads to sacrifice. It's the courage to offer oneself. In compassion leading to freedom, courage is to feel the courage to feel deeply and to act freely. From patience leading to insight, there's courage to wait and understand. Courage is the flame beneath all the virtues and is what allows them to be lived, not merely admired. Now, one person who embodied such courage, Martin Luther King Jr., once said, "Courage is an inner resolution to go forward despite obstacles. Cowardice is submissive surrender to circumstances. Courage breeds creativity. Courage represses fear and is mastered by it. Cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? But conscience asks the question, is it right? And there comes a time when we must take a position that is neither safe nor politic nor popular, but one must take it because it is right." Now, the opposite of cowardice is foolhardiness, and it too is born of vanity and concern for what is politic or secure. Courage is the balance of soul in which one decidedly acts regardless of fear. Every time we act courageously, we change within. It is these changes within ourselves that attract others to us and make certain others attractive to us, thus changing the nature of our relationships. Now, I have some suggested activities for you, which you can do on your own time. And they can be accomplished by yourself, or if you wish, you can do this together with another person. And you can find this information in my blog on courage on my website, midnightpoint.com. So thank you again so much for being with me, and I will see you again.